Northwest Lanes in Fairfield, Ohio. Welcome once again to the Hudy King of TV Bowling. I'm Tom Brenneman, along with the man, Dave Newrath. And David, good morning, and tell us a little bit about our first match.
Well, it's going to be a good morning because in the first match, we're going to have probably one of the most seasoned veterans we've had on the lanes in a long, long time. Bill Heflin has possibly made more television appearances in Greater Cincinnati than any other two bowlers. I'm not sure. We don't keep track. But his experience and talent is very evident in shooting 275 in the roll-off to get here, Tommy.
Impressive. And his opponent?
Well, Darryl is a right-hander that's been underrated for a long, long time. Very, very good, going to the line, deep knee bend, just does a lot of things right. Darryl's a tough, tough bowler.
All right, we'll look for it. That's our first match of the day, and it's coming up in just a moment on the Hudy King of TV Bowling.
Greater Cincinnati BPA's Hudy King of Bowling. Brought to you by Hudy Delight, Cincinnati's own light beer and an official beer sponsor of the Greater Cincinnati Bicentennial.
Want to go bowling?
I'd be delighted.
Share the fun, grab the flavor, that's the number one. I know the way, that is just right. Make mine delight, make mine delight, make mine delight. You know
famous recipe makes the best tasting chicken in town. We bake fluffy scratch buttermilk biscuits glazed with melted butter. Taste our country fresh salads and hot vegetables. Right now you can get the 12-piece family feast with all the fixins for only $9.95. A complete wholesome meal for only $9.95. Famous Recipes Family Feast. The great taste keeps you coming back.
Make your choice, America's choice. When you buy a new home, buy America's choice. A home you'll be proud to own. Make your choice, America's choice. America's choice, mobile homes. We're America's choice. We're America's choice. Make your choice, America's choice.
Welcome back to the Hudy King of TV Bowling, week number 2. Of course, our season opener last week, and our champion, Mike Ackerman. But in our first game today, it'll be the man you're looking at, Bill Heflin and Darryl Higgins. And Dave, you talked about earlier, this guy has been on the King of TV Bowling more times than you and I can remember.
Starting the match off with a crash 7-pin. Tommy, he's, like I said, if we kept close records over 26 years, and this is our 26th year, by the way, longest running sports telecast of its kind in the country, I believe. Bill Heflin's been on so many times it's innumerable to count. Bill's just a great guy and a great bowler, and after that heart surgery last year, it didn't slow him up at all. A couple of years ago now.
Well, you talked about the fact also that in our bowl-off just prior to the telecast, he rolled an impressive 275. And he told me, he said, Tom, I'll take those the rest of the year, the rest of my life.
No kidding. I'd take him the rest of the day and be happy, I guarantee you. Darryl Higgins on the right lane, lane 14. Went a little bit light that time, leaving a 4-pin, which is unusual on a light hit. But Darryl, as I said in the opening also, underrated. He really doesn't have a name that a lot of the folks at home are going to recognize. But I'll tell you what, we bowl a lot of tournaments together. This man consistently cashes.
I want to also mention, by the way, of course, we are joined by Jennifer Kleekamp, who was with us last week, her first year of the telecast. And Jennifer, once again, glad to have you aboard.
Thanks. I'm really happy to be here. Let me tell you a little bit about Darryl Higgins. He's 29 years old. He's from Springfield Township, and he's a carpenter. And he also is married, and he has a 300 game.
Just one?
Just one, as it says here.
Well, I tell you what, he's got the talent, as you can see right there, Tommy, to throw a lot more than just
That
one.
was dead on target.
Crusher on the left lane. Set up the match, lane 13 and 14 here at Northwest Lanes. Lane 14 for the right-handers appears to be hooking a little less than lane 13. Left side looks pretty even.
Well, after Higgins countered with the strike, right back comes Bill Heflin. And we were talking a little bit about how many times Bill Heflin has been on the telecast just a few moments ago. And boy, the list goes on. 17 years he's been qualifying, 30-plus times, he says.
Talk about a veteran in 300 games, 8 of them.
There you go.
Not too bad. Going to try to follow it up one more time, and he does.
That's the hit you want to carry when you're in competition. You're going to carry the late 6. Let's take a look at it here. He's going to be a little bit high on the shot. The head pin's going to go straight back, center of your screen. Now that's a 3-pin going to the outside, coming off the wall. Boom, boom. 6, 10, out of here. Strike for Bill Heflin.
Darryl Higgins stepping right back up there, and it looked like he was right there in the pocket.
Like we said in the setup, Tommy, the right lane just a little slicker. The first frame he went light, left a 4-pin, made an adjustment, made a great shot, but a ringing 10 because the ball went into a roll maybe a foot further down the lane than he would like it to have.
Going to try to pick up that spare, not too difficult, and he does indeed pick it up.
Yes.
Darryl, by the way, is a regular at Princeton Bowl. Started back when he was 16. Take a look at the scoreboard, and David?
Well, the scoreboard at this point in the match doesn't really tell you a whole lot other than Heflin's got a double, and he is in the lead by 10 pins. But the big thing, that strike in the third frame working over Darryl, 40 in the second. Left lane, the lane he likes. Let's see how he does. Unbelievable, Tommy. The guy wants to get back in this match quickly, throws an absolutely great shot. No reward whatsoever. Let's take a look at it. You want to see the ring 10? This is the best ring 10 I've seen all year. The pin you want to keep your eye on is the 6-pin. Right there, goes around it, hits it, but does not knock it down. Cross lane for the spare.
And once again, he picks it up. But spares do not catch strikes, and Bill Heflin is working on 2 in a row. I'm going to try to add to that right now as he steps up in the 4th frame.
He's a no-frills kind of bowler, Tommy. He goes to the line methodically, same tempo each and every shot. Just fills up the 1-2 pocket, and he's 8 300s.
That is something else.
I can't believe that.
He's
You
got
sure that's right?
He's got a lot of other honors, too, doesn't
I'm
he,
sure
Jennifer?
it's right.
Yeah, read the rest
He's
of
got
them.
a
What do we
ton of titles. Match game champion twice, city match game, which is a very prestigious title to win.
Hard to get. There you go. Bill Heflin is on a roll. He's comfortable with the condition. The left-hand side, again, playing pretty even, both lanes, which makes it just a little bit easier this time. But Darryl Higgins is lined up. I think he feels confident. Now the question is, can he carry?
Well, Bill Heflin is working on 4 consecutive strikes, and Darryl is coming off a spare.
He really got into that ball. He really hit that ball for all it was worth, Tommy.
Well, he's still got to, we mentioned, do a little bit of catching up here, because you talked about how comfortable Bill Heflin feels, and it's obvious by the way he's rolling the ball.
Yeah, the pressure at this point, as many times as Bill's been on, is basically non-existent. Maybe the first couple of frames, a little extra adrenaline. But in Bill's case, I don't think that's even a factor to mention.
Well, we talked about how many times Bill has been on the show. Darryl, and another strike. So he is not going to lie down and roll over.
Absolutely not. Let's take a look at this one on the replay, Tommy. You want to see reaction? This guy's got it. You want to see the ball? He's got some action on it, too. The 3-pin, second one from the center, is going to go straight back. Now, that's a 6-pin going to the channel. Boom. Hacksaw into the 10. Darryl Higgins liked it.
You better believe he did. And right back comes Bill Heflin, and that breaks the string of 4 consecutive strikes. What'd he do, Dave?
Well, he threw an absolutely fantastic shot. Got about a 9-pin count for a reward. Yuck. I'll tell you what, you hate to see those kind, but Bill Heflin, being the veteran that he is, has probably shot a couple of thousand of these things, so I don't view any problem in bringing back the spare.
Jennifer, you don't get many of those, though. All 10 of them fall down.
I think everybody gets a lot of 10 pins in my eyes.
The corners are tough to get out, but that's what the game's all about. The scoreboard, well, let me tell you what. It's going to show us that we have a barn burner on our hands. 129 for Bill Heflin in the 5th. Now, Darryl Higgins, if he strikes in the 7th, gives him 109, but more importantly, gives him that double to work on for 139 potential in the 6th.
Heflin needs a strike here. And he gets it. After getting that spare, leaving the 1, he was not shaken a bit.
Well, Tommy, I'll tell you what. We've 7 frames for Bill Heflin. We've got 7 balls perfectly in the 1-2 pocket. Obviously, he's lined up. It's a question of carry, and he knows it. He was sitting there thinking about it, trying to get himself together, see if he could carry. This man's not out of here, though.
That was a super shot. It looked like he just put it right where he wanted, split the rack apart.
We call that a Red Sea strike.
Red Sea strike, absolutely.
Guys getting a little technical on me here now. Red Sea strike? I'm just familiar with that with the Bible on the Red Sea.
That's
the
what
idea.
it means. Split the Red Sea. You split the rack apart.
Doesn't take a genius to figure that out.
Yeah, Tommy, you're going to be a whiz with us one of these days. I'll tell you what, here we go. We got a match. Don't go away. Don't go to that refrigerator yet. I know you want a Hudy, but hold on one more minute. This is a barn burner. Bill Heflin, right lane. Remember, he's flushed the hole 7 times. 8th frame. This is the first time he's felt the pressure from Darryl Higgins. Darryl's looking at the scoreboard. Big shot, Bill Heflin.
And he answers dead on target. And this is routine for him. You know, we saw him sitting down. You said he was kind of thinking about it, but take a look at the guy. Just waiting for the ball. Come on, let's just step up there and knock down 10 more.
There's a lot to be said about veterans, that's for sure. You know, the experience really counts, especially in match play.
It's a 10-pin game at this point. The man you're looking at right now, Bill Heflin, left lane, has the 10-pin lead. And he has been solid on every shot. 9 balls. We could have 9 strikes, but Darryl Higgins is not going to quit. You can always hope that your competitor stumbles in the 10th, gets a bad break, whatever. Darryl Higgins' job is to throw a strike right here. 9th frame, the building frame. Very important shot.
Big ball. Looks good. Oh, got it to go. He had left that one a couple of times, but not right there.
Tommy, crucial position. Let's look at it here on the replay. We call it the love tap 10. Here it is. The pin you want to watch. Second one from the right-hand side of your screen. It's the 6-pin. Now look, lazily getting out. Oh, it'll walk in the pucks, tap you on the neck, and you're out of here.
That 6-pin looked like it knew what it was doing, didn't
You
it?
betcha. You betcha.
Not too shabby. He'll take him.
It's still a 10-pin deficit. He can cut it. He can make it an even match right here. Bad shot.
Well, it was. He got at least a small break somewhat. That the one went down there at the end, because if not, that's an awfully tough split.
Yeah, the party would have been basically over if he combined that 6-pin with the 7, which was standing briefly over in the left-hand side of your screen. But this is an easy spare. He'll bring it back. Now count becomes crucial. His job to get 9 or better on this shot. He's looking at the score, just kind of figuring things out. A lot of math involved here. That's why I'm glad they came out with automatic scores, Tommy.
You got that right. Up, and you said he needed a strike. He got it. Now, Bill Heflin is coming off of 2 strikes of his own. So what does that mean as far as what he needs to do to seal this one?
Well, if he obviously if he gets the first strike, the party's over. Darryl Higgins threw a very good game. The only bad shot coming in the first ball in the 10th. 238 for Darryl Higgins. This strike will put the game away.
You said it. And he answered. Jennifer, I hope that, you know, when the flat lady starts to sing, as the old saying goes, that you are going to be the one at least that will help us with the melody, because I can assure you the melody you just heard.
There I go again.
You're in trouble if you're depending on me. You are in big trouble.
No,
We're in a lot worse trouble depending on New Rad. I got news for you.
This abuse I take every Sunday, I cannot believe it. Thank goodness it's only 16 weeks, but I'll tell you what are we, 2 weeks into this 16-week season? We're having fun already.
You got that right. And Bill Heflin's abusing the pins.
Okay, folks.
Back strikes here in the 10th. He is working on 5 consecutive strikes right now. Man is getting it done after a 275 in our roll-off just prior to the telecast, and finishes with a flurry.
Going to be tough to beat, Tommy. I'll tell you what, 238 and you're not even close. The match goes to Bill Heflin. Score 238 to 269. And we'll be right back after this with a Golden Ball contest.
As we introduced to you last week, a new part of our show this year is the Golden Ball 14K contest. Now, here's the way it works. Kathy Brocksterman, if you would be so kind as to go ahead and draw our 2 contestants, I'll explain to the folks at home how it works. Kathy will be drawing a studio contestant as well as a home player. Now, the studio contestant will have a chance to come down here and roll for some big money. If the bowler rolls for a strike, both contestants would split a $100 jackpot, and the bowler would also receive the gold ball made by Gemtech and sponsored this week, donated this week by the ball shops. If there is not a strike, both contestants get a T-shirt. That's a Hudy Bicentennial T-shirt, by the way, and 1 line for each pin knocked down. If there's 8 pins knocked down, both would receive 8 free games from the BPA house of their choice. And Kathy, who, first of all, is our home player?
Our home player is Mel Huseman from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Okay, and our studio contestant?
Sherry Whitaker.
Sherry Whitaker, where are you? She's out there somewhere. Come on down. Let's hear it for her, folks. Sherry, come on up this way. How you doing? Doing all right?
Yeah.
Okay, now, we had a winner last week. Let's make it 2 in a row.
Okay.
Have at it. Looking good. Oh, almost. Nice round of applause for her. And at least you're going to get some, I guess you knocked down 8. You'll get 8 free games as well as our home contestant. Congratulations.
Thanks.
All righty, if you at home would like to be a part of our show, here's all you have to do. Send your name and address to the BPA Golden Ball Contest, 1821 Summit Road, Cincinnati, Ohio, 45237.